Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Aron Nimzowitsch, My System. The customary quote: "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." From the Hong Kong and American martial artist Bruce Lee. In the last part, we went through games number 14, 31, 36 and 37 of the illustrative game section of the book. Moving further, we will go through game number 38 of the illustrative game section of the book. This game was played between the Allies versus Aron Nimzowitsch in 1926 during a simultaneous exhibition at Leipzig, Germany. Nimzowitsch writes of the game as follows: "This game took an instructive course. It was played in a simultaneous exhibition. White, Schulrig, with up to the 12th move, K-Law of Hall. I could not find much information on both these players over the internet." The Allies were the white pieces and Nimzowitsch with the black. Notes by Aron Nimzowitsch. Knight f3, e6, g3, d5, bishop g2, c6, b3, bishop d6, bishop b2, knight f6, d3, knight d7, knight d2 and queen c7. e5 was also possible. With the text move queen c7, an original maneuver begins. Black plans an attack on the extreme queen's wing, but before launching it wishes to safeguard his center against the possible threat of e4, e5, and accordingly first sees to the overprotection of e5. Further, from where she stands, his queen has at her disposal a reserve square in b8, to which she can withdraw if need arise should the c-file be opened. Castles, a5, c4 and b5. The question whether a flank attack is admissible or not can only be solved by reference to the actual position in the center. If this be secure, a flank attack cannot be wholly amiss. So too here. And what matters it that the king has not yet castled? As it is, he is unassailable. C takes on b5, c takes on b5, rook c1 and queen b8, the withdrawing room. Queen c2. Instead, e4 seems more to the point. So queen c2, castles, e4, bishop b7, knight d4, rook c8, queen b1, rook takes on c1, rook takes on c1, b4 and knight c6. A bit premature in my opinion. Bishop takes on c6, rook takes on c6 and a4. Every free moment is used to the strengthening of the position on the extreme queen's wing. d4. This move must be credited to black's strategy in overprotecting e5. The valuable diagonal b2 to f6 is now obstructed, but by no other means could the thrust e5 have been affected. Those engaged in this overprotection have once more stood the test excellently. Moreover, they have had to put up with no inconveniences, but have made themselves felt in all directions. One variation should be mentioned, namely f4, in order to keep the d-pawn at d3. The continuation might have been bishop c5 check, and white has after all to submit to playing d4, and after bishop f8 and e5 we should have arrived at the position in the text. So d4, bishop f8, e5 and knight e8. The white bishops have now small possibilities of action. f4 and queen b5. a3 at once would have been more precise. So queen b5, queen c2, a3 and bishop c1. It was essential here to interpolate or insert a bishop f1. So bishop c1, and Nimzowitsch writes of this position alongside its diagram as follows. Black with the move forces his way into the enemy game by means of a sacrifice of the exchange and wins the entrenched a-pawn. How does he do it? Nimzowitsch continues. Bishop c5. This interesting combination should begin with knight c5, not bishop c5. The difference will soon be manifest. So bishop c5, rook takes on c5, knight takes on c5, and d takes on c5, question mark. The interpolation here of bishop f1, which would not have been possible if black had played knight c5 earlier as mentioned, would have yielded him an extra tempo for the endgame. So d takes on c5 and rook c8. We can see by his face that white's a-pawn is marked out for death. Knight b1, queen takes on c5 check, queen takes on c5, rook takes on c5, and bishop takes on a3. Or bishop d2, rook c2, bishop f1, rook takes on a2, bishop takes on b4, and rook g2 check, and wins. If white had one tempo more, see note to white's 25th move, this combination would have been impossible. So bishop takes on a3 and there followed b takes on a3, knight takes on a3, rook a5, knight c2, rook takes on a2, knight d4, rook b2, f5, knight c7, f takes on e6, knight takes on e6, knight c6, d4, and white resigned. Next is game number 40, which was played between Richard Teichmann versus Aron Nimzowitsch in the San Sebastian tournament of 1911 at San Sebastian, Spain. Nimzowitsch writes of the game as following. The Hanham defense illustrates combined play on both wings. The fearlessness with which Black is able to, up to a certain point, to ignore his own weakness at d6 is notable. Teichmann with the white pieces and Nimzowitsch with the black. Notes by Aron Nimzowitsch. e4, e5, knight f3, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, knight d7, bishop c4, bishop e7, castles, castles, queen e2, c6, and bishop g5. a4 would have been preferable here. So bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, knight h5, bishop g3, and knight takes on g3. Bishop f6 was also to be considered. So knight takes on g3, h takes on g3, b5, bishop d3 and a6. Black's pawn mass is now of such a constitution, I mean inner structure, that they must inspire respect. Notice the twofold possibility of deployment by c5 or on occasion d5. a4. He tries to nip the latent or hidden strength of Black's pawns in the bud. Bishop b7, rook d1, queen c7, a takes on b5, a takes on b5, g4, rook e8 and d5. To get out of the way of his vis-a-vis or counterpart on the e file. b4, d takes on c6, bishop takes on c6, knight b1, knight c5, knight d2 and queen c8. White's attempt to pick a quarrel, sit venia verboro, sit venia verbo, or excuse the expression, must be regarded as having failed, for Black's pawn at d6 is easily defendable, while the two bishops, in conjunction with the a file and the threatening diagonal c8 to g4, exercise significant influence. Bishop c4, a witty defense of the g-pawn. If queen takes on g4, double question mark, then bishop takes on f7 check. So bishop c4, g6, g3, king g7, knight h2 and bishop g5. The weakness of d6 is here of but slight importance. f3. If f4 question mark, then e takes on f4, g takes on f4 and bishop f6, winning a pawn. So f3 and queen c7, threatening knight a4, and if rook b1, then bishop takes on d2 and bishop takes on e4 to follow. Rook e1, rook h8, knight f1 and h5. The moves now following lead to the occupation of the important files and diagonals. G takes on h5, rook takes on h5, bishop d5, rook h8, bishop takes on c6, queen takes on c6, queen c4, queen b6 and king g2. A weakness has slowly crystallized out, namely that of White's base. With the black knight placed at d4, the invasion of White's second rank would be decisive. Knight e6. His eye is on d4, but at the same time threatens the king's wing by rook takes on h2, knight takes on h2, rook takes on h2, king takes on h2, queen f2 check, king h3, and bishop f4. This position has also been discussed in part 2 of the book, chapter Maneuvering Against Weakness, page number 255. Rook e2. But for the threat just referred to, white could perhaps find an adequate defense by queen d5 instead of rook e2, knight d4 and f4. But rook e2 was played by white in the game, and play continued with knight d4. But now this move takes place with a win of a tempo, rook e1, or rook f2 and bishop e3. So rook e1 and queen b7. Rook c8 can no longer be parried. A good example this of how one can devote one's attention to several weaknesses at the same time. Rook takes on d4. After c3, b takes on c3, b takes on c3, and queen b2 check, the weakness of white's second rank would have been shown up. So rook takes on d4, e takes on d4, and knight g4. Or queen takes on d4 check, bishop f6, queen takes on d6, and rook d8. So knight g4, queen b6, f4, bishop e7, rook d1, f5, knight f2, f takes on e4, queen takes on d4 check, queen takes on d4, rook takes on d4, d5, g4, bishop c5, rook d1, rook h4, rook takes on d5, bishop takes on f2, king takes on f2, and rook takes on g4. Black, in order to maintain his advantage, had always to try to combine attack on the king with play in the center. Reference his 40th and 41st moves. King e3, rook c8, and now the queen's wing is brought in too. King takes on e4, rook c4 check, king d3, and rook takes on f4. Now things go easier. Knight e3, rook g3, rook e5, king f6, rook e8, king f7, rook e5, rook f6, c4, b3, king e4, rook e6, rook takes on e6, king takes on e6, knight d5, g5, and white resigned. Next is game number 42, which was played between Aron Nimzowitsch versus Frank James Marshall in the New York tournament of 1927 at New York, USA. Frank James Marshall was the US chess champion from 1909 to 1936 and one of the strongest players in the early part of the 20th century. Nimzowitsch writes of the game as following. The following game won a brilliancy prize in the New York tournament 1927. Nimzowitsch with the white pieces and Marshall with the black. Notes by Aron Nimzowitsch. c4, knight f6, d4, e6, knight f3, c5, d5, d6, knight c3, e takes on d5, c takes on d5, g6, and knight d2 to establish the knight at c4. Knight d7, knight c4, knight b6, e4, bishop g7, and knight e3. Planning a4, a5, and to post the knight anew at c4. Black would have done better to exchange knights on his ninth move. White now gets the advantage. Castles, bishop d3, knight h5, castles, bishop e3, a4, knight f4, a5, knight d7, knight c4, knight takes on d3, queen takes on d3, f5, e takes on f5, rook takes on f5, and f4. The prelude to a complicated attacking operation, which was the more unexpected since knight e4 gave a good game without any effort. But for once, I wanted to go in for a combination. So f4, bishop d4 check, bishop e3, bishop takes on c3, queen takes on c3, knight f6, and queen b3. White gets compensation for their d-pawn. Note, inter alia, or among other things, that black's queen side is difficult to develop. Rook takes on d5. The answer to knight takes on d5 would have been rook e1, double exclamation mark. For bishop e6 would have been prevented because of bishop takes on c5. Black would then have been quite helpless and white could have won by, for example, bishop d2, bishop d2, followed by the doubling of the rooks in the e-file. So rook takes on d5, f5, g takes on f5, and bishop g5. There is a peculiar point in this move. If, that is to say, bishop e6, and it is with this parry that white has above all things to reckon, then queen takes on b7, threatening bishop takes on f6 and the win of a piece. Rook c8, rook e1, and the bishop must give up the defense of either of the rooks, on which bishop takes on f6 would lead to the win of whichever is left defenseless. So bishop g5, rook d4, knight b6 discovered check, c4, queen c3, a takes on b6, queen takes on d4, king g7, and rook e1, the quickest road to the win. B takes on a5 and rook e8, violent but intelligible. Queen takes on e8, queen takes on f6 check, king g8, and bishop h6, where black resigned the game. Alright, we conclude this part of Aron Nimzowitsch, my system here, and we shall continue onwards from the next one. Here is a look at the recent channel support from my Twitch stream. 3 new supporters: SchwatteDuevel, dirtyhallvard, and Suited Connect. Suited Connect is a woman's FIDE master and a fellow chess streamer from Germany. I will post a link to her streaming channel on Twitch in the video description. Do check it out. Thank you for the kind support, everyone. Much appreciated. Alright, till next time, take care.